What are we doing? Do we want the Chiefs to three-peat? The absolute disrespect. How often does the theory of bulletin board material have to be proven correctly? And guess what? Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, Andy Reid, Steve Spags, they don't need any more bulletin board material. They're already making stuff up in their head. That's what the great ones do. They make up lies about themselves so they can prove the haters wrong. We've seen it with Kirby Smart in Georgia. We've seen it with Tom Brady and the Pats dynasty. We've seen it with Michael Jordan and the Bulls dynasty of the 90s. You don't give them bulletin board material. What are we doing? And I've seen a lot of people kind of come at the Raiders rookie for doing this, and Antonio Pierce, I think, has already backtracked, as he should. Listen, I love Antonio Pierce. I really like the Raiders. I like Gardner Minshew, but if you look at the Raiders roster, they're not going to do shiz this year. Nothing. Like, that roster is not going to be able to compete with anybody in the AFC other than New England. The Raiders roster is atrocious. And this rookie, seventh rounder, who actually does have some notoriety, needs to just, what are we doing? It's so unnecessary. It's the first week of training camp. Vibes are high. Everyone thinks that they're going to win the Super Bowl, even though a team like the Raiders, they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Why do you even have to put the negative energy, the negative karma in your building? The guy who said all this, by the way, seventh rounder, as I just said, Trey Taylor, he actually won the Jim Thorpe Award, and the reason why he fell to the seventh round of the draft was because, as you can see, his college is Air Force. There were questions about whether or not he was going to be able to play in the NFL right away. In addition to that, more of a box safety, really productive in college, but didn't test super well. It doesn't have any amazing traits that stand out. Trey Taylor, I was advocating for you, but I got to question some intelligence going after Patrick Mahomes on your first day of practice. Unless your name is Joe Burrow or Tom Brady, you really have no business talking about Patrick Mahomes because he has been objectively way better than everyone else in the league. He has had everyone's numbers, really, but the Bengals and Tom Brady, and even the Bengals. I mean, he has multiple championship appearances over him. Obviously, talking about the top 100 players thing, Pat who, a little bit disrespectful, and Patrick Mahomes responds accordingly. This also from Jamar Chase, a little bit more respectful of a way to just kind of shudder away any Patrick Mahomes talk. I'm not saying him. I'm not saying that guy's name. I'm salty in regards to who he thinks the best player is in the NFL. Obviously, anyone with a brain, it's Patrick Mahomes. People need to fear this man. We are very close to having a team three-peat, something that the dominant teams of the 70s, like the Steelers, like the Cowboys, they never did. The 90s Cowboys, they never did that. The 80s Niners, they never did that. Any of the Patriots teams with Brady, they never three-peated. They're really close. Really close. We haven't even played a game of the 2024 season yet, and they're really close to three-peating. Patrick Mahomes, the worst he's ever done in his career is an AFC championship loss to Tom Brady in which Mahomes didn't even have a chance to respond. That's the floor of what a Patrick Mahomes season is at the moment. He's close to three-peating. Me personally, in fact, all 31 teams, other than if you're a Chiefs fan who are associated with the Chiefs in any way, shape, or form, should not want that to happen. I'm all for appreciating greatness. No, I could probably go through all 31 teams and say, yeah, I'd rather have them win the Super Bowl this year than the Chiefs. Why are we giving them bulletin board material? We already know that they're going to be that much better than each one of our teams. Coaches, players, fans, keep your mouth shut. Let's just pray that the Chiefs don't win another Super Bowl, at least not this year. Give us a couple years off. The Patriots dynasty, as dominant as it was, we had a 10-year intermission where, yeah, they were still playing in Super Bowls and they got us scared a little bit, but we went a solid decade without seeing them win a Super Bowl. We saw the Steelers get a couple. We saw Baltimore get one. We saw Peyton get one. We had a nice little time. We saw the Legion of Boom. We saw Aaron Rodgers. Let's wait. Give us a decade intermission first before you catch up to Brady. Teams, stop giving this guy bulletin board material.